So g'day boys. The third strategy that we've looked at this week and that you need to have in mind when working with multiplication is called the double and halve strategy. Now, it's not an overly difficult strategy, and I think this is probably one that you might like to use a lot more regularly when you do work with multiplication, okay, because it's pretty much exactly how it says in terms of doubling one number and halving another. So let's start with a bit of an example. Say if we have 25 multiplied by 6, okay? As the strategy suggests, we have to double one number and halve the other one. Now, we've got two types of numbers here. We've got an odd number, okay, and an even number. So straight away we know what number we should be doubling. We cannot halve an odd number because then we're working with decimal places and that's not easy to multiply with. So we must double the 25. So if we double the 25, that becomes 50. Okay, now, as I said, it's double and half. So if we double the 25, we must halve the 6. So it leaves us with 50 multiplied by 3. Now, this is a lot easier to multiply. 3 times 5 is 15. But because we're working with tens, it's 150. Okay, pretty easy one to start with. Let's start with our next one. Okay, a little bit harder now. Okay, but still very, very easy of the process. 15 multiplied by 14. Okay, once again, we've got a number here that's even, and we've got a number here that's odd. So we know straight away that we should double our odd number because remember, we cannot halve an odd number. So if we double our 15, that becomes 30. And if we halve our 14, that becomes 7. Now, once again, it's a lot easier multiplication because we're working with zeros. Remember, we try and get to our zeros as much as we can. 7 times 3 is 21. Because we're working with tens, it's 210. Okay, let's try a little bit more difficult one. Sometimes when we're working with double and half strategy, we have to double and half twice, not just the once, okay? So if I give you the example, 15 multiplied by 28. Now, if we look at this, we go, okay, we know we have to double the 15 because it's our odd number, so we must halve our 28. That would leave us with 14. Now, 30 multiplied by 14 is still quite difficult to do. So this is where we have to double and halve one more time. So if we double our 30 once again, and then we halve our 14, it's a lot easier now to go 60 multiplied by 7 compared to 15 multiplied by 28. Okay, so if we do 60 multiplied by 7, okay, 6 times 7 is 42. We're working with the tens, 420. And just like that, in 3 steps, okay, 1, 2, and 3, we can easily work out 15 multiplied by 20. Okay, let's do one more just to be familiar so we know, in class, it's pretty easy to do. So our last one, let's go 24 multiplied by 25. Okay, so let's look at this. Again, we've got an odd number. Okay, so let's turn this one into 50 and let's halve the 24 into 12. Once again, still quite hard to do off the top of our heads. So let's double and halve one more time. Make that 6 because we halve the 12 and double the 50. Make that 100. It then leaves us 6 times 100 equals 600. Much easier to do, okay? Now, if you get given, okay, here's one just to work with. If you get given maybe 2 even numbers, okay, it can be a little bit harder to do. So if we've got 14 times 16, it's up to us what we want to double and it's up to us what we want to, halve. For me, let's halve the 14 because then it just becomes 7. It's a little bit smaller than halving the 16, and we double that, which becomes 32. Now, once again, this is quite hard to do in our heads. So this is where our working out comes in handy. it's a good way to come over to the side and break our numbers up. So you might partial product our actual sum. So you might do 30 times 7 and then 2 times 7. Because remember, partial product is breaking it into parts. Okay, 30 times 7 is 210. 7 times 2 is 14. And then we can add them up over here. So 7 times 32 is 224. Hopefully you've got a little bit more of an understanding now with double and halve strategy. We will do this in class and hopefully this one's pretty easy to tick off.